Welcome to the Low Energy Backmarker podcast. Unfortunately, we only have one member here that is above an 8 in hype.
Let's
And
go!
You know him, our dirt legend, Ryan. And then Jay and I, we're a little bit more on the low energy chill side today, but we're still going to discuss everything and hopefully it's good.
It's not going to be.
All right, well, unfortunate.
Hey.
So let's start it off with our dirt expert. We had Dirt Bristol this weekend. What'd you get from that dirt expert?
Yeah, the track, honestly, the track I'd have to grade about a 3 out of 10. Track was very good for the first, 50 laps. It was very interesting. You had guys that were moving through the field, able to run the top and the bottom. And then
What do you call that thing at the top that people are not supposed to jump?
the cushion, bro.
Oh, he got it! He got it!
Duh, everybody knows that, dude.
All right, how about
What were
yesterday? What were they using to pack down the track?
They were using the big machine things that just.
No, what race car were they using? That was not a
They were
NASCAR
using
car.
a dirt race car.
They were
What's it
using the entire F1 grid, and they
There
just
you
smashed all the
go.
cars down on the
It
ground.
wasn't an early model.
It was a
The opposite
before
of an early
Christ
model.
model. Before
A
Christ
dirt-
model.
See,
Before
you're going
Christ
in the wrong
model, yes.
direction. Yeah.
All right, that's good enough. Thank you,
All right.
dirt expert.
You're welcome. That's why
How
I'm
about you, Jay?
Oh, I had another dirt question. What
Mhm.
were those things that were painted white at the bottom of the track?
Yeah, those were the dirtles.
Pace truck is off and they face the green flag. The Bristol dirt race is underway.
Oh, heavy damage.
And he gets hit hard.
Right in front of your leader, Martin Truex Jr. barely got through that.
Barely got through there, but
On the outside.
Byron got
He's
it.
got two more right there.
that was almost exactly what just happened. Amarola, Harvick into his teammate, Chase Briscoe. Head just wouldn't.
Spinner!
Now goes around. Larson collects him.
Bell Larson.
Boy, there's two of our favorites right there that we thought were going to be the guys to beat. Might be done.
Here's Truex coming around to the green and white checkers. End of stage one, and Marvelous Martin.
Tires up. He's going to have to get back in here. That method to his madness, he's going to have to think about it a little bit, make some adjustments here in his hot rod when he had.
In the middle of the dust cloud.
I saw Bubba Wallace, in the
there it
9
is.
make contact, but earlier, further back, you saw the 12, Ryan Blaney, and the 18 of Kyle Busch get together.
I think he checked because what he saw in the front of him with the 9, like you were talking.
Joey Logano, second stage win of 2021. Along with Chase Elliott, William Byron.
Use the old chrome horn right there.
Bubba
he's
goes
bumping
around.
Might have a left rear tire down. Ricky got
Sure
into
does.
left rear. Sure.
Stenhouse sends it in, but Logano is going to win the dirt race at Bristol.
How about that?
Oh,
Joey Logano.
Unreal. I gotta tell you, I mean, guys, what a race, what a battle, all these different leaders. Joey Logano is pumped up to win this dirt race here at Bristol.
Earlier today, Vince Welch and Michael Waltrip called him out.
Oh yeah, baby!
They said,
Baby, that's it!
Blaney won last week after being up in the booth. Joey, you got to go.
And he did
And
it.
he did. And Martin Truex goes from third to 19th. Last car on the lead lap after cutting down a tire. Logano, Stenhouse, Hamlin, Suarez, and Ryan Newman, the top 5.
I believe the dirtles. Those
Teenage Mutant
things
Ninja Turtles.
that Eric Almirola found out about, and then he ripped his fender off, and then he spun around, and then he collected 10 other cars. So good for Eric Almirola. His 4th finish this year of 30th or worse. We want to congratulate him
His
because
average finish dropped to 26.6, I think.
yeah,
after today.
he is. If he is not the best driver in NASCAR, I don't know who is the best driver in NASCAR.
Or
so.
best dirt driver. That was goat
Dude, if
mode.
I was one of those NASCAR drivers, maybe without solid sponsorship, I'd be kicking in the doors over at Smithfield right now.
Oh, for
I'd be
sure,
sending
dude.
so many emails.
I'd just be wearing Smithfield T-shirts and interviews that I did with just sending messages to Smithfield.
Dude, honestly, now that we're on topic of Eric Almirola, honestly, I think we can all agree, he's probably gone next year from his seat.
I bet
But
not. I bet he'll have the money to keep his seat. That's how sad NASCAR is.
I think he's going to become the next Justin Allgaier. I think he's going back to the Xfinity Series. He's going to race for SHR or some other team.
The second car
Well, that would
developer,
actually
other
make
driver.
him Michael Annett because he's
Yeah.
about Michael Annett's age.
Yeah, no, I legit think he's going to be out of the top series this year. He's going to go to Xfinity Series, and he's going to be the next Michael Annett, Justin Allgaier, whatever of the Xfinity Series.
What team could he like catch on to?
I mean, I don't know like how invested Stuart Haas is in the Xfinity Series, considering
They're
like
not
they
at
were
all.
like
I mean, they
Riley
don't even
Herbst here, drive my
Ryan
car.
Herbst plus one
They don't
car,
even
I mean,
own their own Xfinity team. Technically, that's like D Benedetti or D Benedisti Racing or whatever. So
Honestly, like, I mean, dude, that's tough. Honestly, I almost think like there's a
the
chance
second
you could
Ryan
catch
Slick
out
car.
at Gibbs somewhere. Like, I don't even know like if
He'd
Hemrick
have
is
to
going to be
have-
there like another year or what they're going to do with that.
He'd have to have Smithfield still if he was going to catch on at Gibbs. Like
Oh yeah,
Smithfield's
but I
got
think he
sick,
would though. Like he sucks Smithfield's, whatever.
Bacon.
big
yeah.
bacony cock.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Dude, Stuart Haas is certainly killing it this year.
Dude, Stuart Haas is fucking dead, man. I thought there was like a multiple month stretch last year where I was like, Stuart Haas is the best team in NASCAR. And this year I'm like, are they better than like fucking Richard Childress Racing? Like, I don't think so.
I mean, Front Row Motorsports has more wins than they do right now.
Because all their money went from NASCAR to F1. Trying to beat fucking Schumacher.
I saw a pretty good meme today. It was like, it said something about like SHR, like Cup cars, and then it showed Gene Haas like holding up a little kid, and the little kid said like supporting a known sex offender who can't drive, who can barely drive.
We'll get into that later, folks. So if you like
Yikes.
We
F1,
probably won't, but
I mean-
we'll go on about it.
Yeah, let's should we just get through all the dirt so we can talk about F1 because
they
that's
definitely
kind
have the
of
more
Yeah, we
exciting
should
race.
definitely alienate the 3 people that probably listen to our podcast for NASCAR by
That's why we're doing
Talking
it
about
last. That's why
F1.
we're doing it last, so they can click off after. They can just
well,
do
dude.
what they have to do.
I mean, on average, people are listening to the podcast for 9 minutes, so we should only be making like a 15-minute podcast.
Race was good. Bye.
That's about it.
Good race was
You guys are
bad.
good. See you
I
next
think this
week.
guy's gonna win next week. I think we have to listen to our fan base.
Yeah,
What
dude,
they're
post
trying
some
to
things on Twitter.
subconsciously tell us.
Well, let's start with the truck series since that was the first race that was supposed to be Saturday night, and then there was rain. They took 2 laps of the heat race, and then they were like, "Yep, we can't see because mud." And then they were like, "Nope, no more action on Saturday." And then NASCAR was like, "Nope, we're not doing this on Sunday either." And then about noon, 1 o'clock, they said, "All right, truck race is on."
Fire 'em up.
MTJ, the known dirt racer MTJ, hopped in that
Knows about as much as dirt as Ryan does.
hopped in that magical 51 machine and went boop, right through the field. And that was about it. That's about all that happened in the race. The only other interesting thing was John Hunter Nemechek and Matt Crafton got into a little spat. Crafton was like, yeah, John Hunter, I'm going to send you through turn 1. Spun out. And then about 20 cars passed him. And then Derek Kraus was like, yep, I'm in for this action. Just went straight into his ass. And then the points leader, the truck series points leader, was done for the race. And then he started bowing to Matt Crafton's crew. So that was the interesting things that happened in the truck series race.
I want to see him fight.
Oh yeah, I would have loved to see that too, because Crafton was like, don't ever look at me, I'm gonna throat punch this motherfucker. Like,
Like, why
I've been in the truck series my entire life, but
Why is there a huge guinea pig waving at me? I'm gonna punch him in the throat.
but no, I mean I think we're all down for drama, so I don't know. I
Not to
kind of hope
mention,
it
I'm pretty
carries.
sure we all hate Matt Crafton and the rest of Thor.
Oh, we all Thor Sport is
Yeah,
definitely
we do
the
not
most
stand Thor Sport here.
not a pro Thor Sport podcast. So
It's a bunch of angry old men and the third full-time driver, or it's two angry old men. So it's grumpy old men, and then like the least
Dude,
interesting,
honestly,
yet most asshole-ish looking person you'll ever meet in your life, Ben Rhodes.
I think everybody should pay to like watch or like listen to Johnny Sauter's radio like every single week, because that dude just like I don't even know why that dude's in the sport anymore, because like it sounds like he's having the worst time of his entire life. Like whenever he hops into his truck, it's like he is the most miserable motherfucker ever.
He's
Like
untalented Kyle Busch on the radio.
pretty much, yeah.
And the thing is, though, too, when Kyle Busch gets mad on the radio, he does pretty well.
Yeah, he's
And
like,
meanwhile,
all right,
yeah,
he
that's
starts
'cause
going
he's-
forward. And then
Yeah,
Johnny
then Sauter
Sauter's like,
falls
I'm going
back.
to kill every single person that worked on this car this weekend. So, and then call Bubba Wallace some words that shouldn't be uttered. But,
At one point during the
Kyle
truck
Larson.
race, I thought Johnny Sauter was wasted. He was just swerving down the straightaway, and then he like wrecked right after that. Like I was like, what is that guy doing?
well, I saw Chandler Smith like spun out right in front of him and like caught him. I don't think they played what he said, but I can't even imagine what that dude said after how fired up he was earlier
On
in that
TV,
race.
it probably sounded like.
There
Yeah,
are definitely some arc or break moments in that truck race for sure.
Yes, very much so.
I'm disappointed that it wasn't Bubba that spun out into him, just for like what would have happened after that, because
Just to initiate war.
just literally Bubba Wallace gets into Johnny Sauter, stick a microphone in Johnny Sauter's face and just see if he does it. Honestly, just see if he fucking does it, because there's a decent chance he fucking goes all in for it, because he knows his career is over after the season. So
You know they had to bleep Kyle Larson's radio at some point today. He just had one of those kind of weekends.
Yeah, he had an iRacing type of weekend.
yeah, he really. I mean, yeah, like his truck, like he never really figured out that truck. I mean, I think that truck just. I mean, obviously the Nice trucks haven't been good since the last couple of years, but that was like a 15 place car. He
Yeah.
just got lucky there. And then the Cup race, fucking Christopher Bell of all people spins out right in front of him, and he just piles in. The two best dirt racers in the series.
Just said, all right, let's destroy each other. You know
Yeah.
what? Though? Going back to the truck series, though, I feel so bad for the people that had the race in the heats and just got kicked out just because, it was mud charting time. The
Yeah.
thing was, like, they could probably have gotten one or two heats done if they just, did what a normal dirt car does and take out the
How about you
windshield.
just start the
Alright.
3 more trucks that you cut? Like he didn't look
That's
right.
that's
Just,
an option, too.
just do
Like,
it.
It would have
I
been
just wanted
so
to see
hard.
Jessica Friesen wreck Stuart Friesen.
Tell Norm Benning to go fucking screw. Like no one cares that Norm Benning is racing.
Exactly.
Tyler
dude, I-
Ankrum also
next-
has the worst luck in the world.
I gotta say, driver of the race though for the truck series. I think
Rafael
it had to.
Lessard.
Yeah, I was gonna say Rafi Lassard.
That's
I
why I
think
cut
we
you
all
off
agree on
because you
that
were
one.
gonna steal my thunder.
We all
It was
disagree on
definitely
that
Rafael
one.
Lessard.
Oh yeah,
I think that's a
Finished
three-way
third.
decision.
he was fast all fucking weekend. Like it was. I mean, that was the only notable GMS performance. Like that's been like the best GMS performance like all season almost. They've
Yeah,
just
for
been shitty.
He is
Um,
also as much of a dirt
but-
racer as Ryan is a dirt expert.
Yes,
Rafael
and
Lessard.
Rex too. But
The top,
definitely
the
next
top
season.
finishing on there, just to go with your point about Nice, the top finishing Nice truck was Ryan Truex at 20th, and then
Ouch.
actually Hover
Yeah.
Car was right behind him at 21st.
I was gonna say the nightmare season continues for Tyler Ankrum as well.
Ugh.
That dude
Awful.
is
It's not even really
28.
his. That wasn't his fault. That had like. I
It
mean, I feel
wasn't
like
his-
Most of it is not his fault.
For real.
yeah. I mean, he's also like 28th in Truck Series points. That's like pretty incredible for that truck.
Hey, where's he at in Cup Series points though?
And it's funny considering that his teammate was driving. His more talented teammate was driving today with no sponsor. And,
Dude,
and
yeah, that's what I don't get
Yank
is Zane
was fully
Smith. Like
sponsored.
that's kind of crazy to me that he doesn't have a sponsor.
Creed and Zane Smith have now had races this year with no sponsorship on their truck.
And that's probably why a lot of people thought after last year Zane Smith was going to move up to the Xfinity Series at Junior Motorsports, and that's probably the biggest reason why he didn't, honestly.
No,
So
there's no seat available for him either.
Yeah.
Were they gonna shuck a net, or they're two money pigs?
Oh,
Hog
I
iron
mean,
net, or
that's the only thing I hate about Dale Jr. And like I mean, like, I get it in a sense, like they're free cars to put on the track for them, but like it's just
probably
like
paying for the other two cars on the track too.
there's a 0% chance that Dale Jr. is ever like, yeah, you're done. Like until like the money completely dries up from Pilot, Flying J, and fucking Brandt. He's just gonna say, yep, just go out there, guys, just finish,
Go have fun.
finish 11th. Michael
Go ahead,
Annett,
all guy, or finish 5th in the standings every year. Michael Annett will get cut in the first round of the playoffs. Everything will be like it's supposed to be.
And then
Everything will be normal.
That's the only thing that annoys me about him.
I got something to say though for NASCAR on the very, very 0.0000001% chance that they're watching.
Oh.
Cut the fucking windows out. Cut the fucking windows out and net them like they normally do for dirt cars. Please, God, because we could have had a couple of heats done.
Mike Joy said, these are stock cars. They ain't taking the windows out. This one time at
Mike Joy's
Riverside.
still at Riverside. Yeah, exactly.
Did you guys ever see Joe Weatherly hit his head on the wall at Riverside?
He didn't have a net.
I don't know nothing about Michael Annett, but he didn't have a fucking
I was
net.
going to say, Junior Motorsports has a net, but Joe Weatherly didn't at Riverside.
Yeah, you don't need no nets for stock cars.
Hey,
no one wants a net in a stock car. That's for sure.
10th in points now. Austin Wayne Self.
He's had a weird good season. Although he dumped someone today, I can't remember who it was, but I think he might have dumped Chandler Smith or one of those guys that's fun.
And shout out to our friend Bulldog. Tanner Gray is sitting 16th in Truck Series points. So
hey, where's that sister sitting though?
If you know, you know. But let's the Cup race though. That
happened.
The Cup race happened. Yes. Jay.
Who won?
Jay, I think we all owe the privilege of letting you talk about it first, since your boy finally won a fucking race this year. So
Finally, yeah.
Congratulations.
19 champion. You mean 18. That guy? The guy who was in the Final Four last year and finished second. Joey Logano. Just a secret. It was Joey Logano that won the race today. Not one of those dirt cuck bitches.
Yeah, because they all wrecked each other.
That
you know
was
what? Penske, baby, 2 in a row. 2 in a row.
I
Brad's
think that's
coming next.
I think that's a thing that was like one of my biggest takeaways from the weekend was like, as soon as like the track got like really like dusty and shit and really rubbered up, like it seemed like it was just basically like old Bristol. Like it wasn't really even like a dirt track. It was just like, let's get to the bottom and like see who has the best forward bite. Like that's basically what it was. And like Logano's car was amazing on the long run. Like it was definitely the best car on the long run.
Remember what I said early in the race about how they showed his tires, and his tire wear was like half of what everybody else's was.
Oh yeah,
like
he did a great.
His tires, and I knew once that track got really fucking hard,
right?
That was it, and it turned out to be true.
Yeah,
the guy for Daniel Suarez, Ricky Stenhouse. No, they talk about the guy who finished 5th, or 6th actually. Those two positions were voided from the race.
It didn't look like a typical dirt race though.
It didn't. No,
it looked like
the first 50 laps.
It was interesting,
but other than that, like it was
interesting. But I think we'll talk about this at the end. But I don't think they should have gone back to Bristol next season.
I mean, we're talking about it now. They've
all right. Well, we're getting into it.
To Bristol next year. I'm sure anybody listening to the podcast has definitely already heard it by now because
that was the thing.
This till Tuesday night or ever.
Well, that was the thing with like the race is like I sort of felt like it was so hard to pass people that and especially with they had the competition caution like every 50 laps or the stage break, whatever came first. But
I think that actually hurt the racing. I feel like
I agree too. Yeah, I agree too. I thought they should have just let him run all the way out. They had the pit. But that was really the thing with that. It was like it was such a track position game. The whole like if you
was like
lost,
Bristol. You had to move somebody to get around.
Yeah, like if you lost 6 spots on a restart, you were fucked. Like you especially with the pit rule and like no live pit stops. Like you weren't gonna gain any spots there.
And you couldn't really stay out either because the tires were burning up enough where there was no strategy on that.
There's no strategy because you couldn't pit like during, like if there was a caution like halfway through like a stage, or like they basically had a caution like every 50 laps. But if like, especially in like the last stage, if they ran like 25 laps and there was a caution, you couldn't pit for like fresh tires. So it just like eliminated all the strategy, which was a little bit unfortunate. But
yeah.
I don't know.
So going back to Jay,
the whole
because
thing was unfortunate.
yeah, who's your driver of the race? That's not Joey Logano.
I mean, I think it's for all of us. It probably should be Daniel Suarez. I mean, right?
Well,
Like,
if you guys choose Daniel Suarez, I'm going to choose someone else.
okay.
I
I
mean,
mean,
how
I
can
thought
you
it
not
was.
choose Daniel Suarez. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess you could say Stinkhouse.
Exactly. That's what I was going to do. I was going to go Stenhouse if you guys chose Suarez, just because I think Suarez overall deserved it, but Stenhouse was second, just for
I
finish.
really enjoyed watching Suarez move Martin Truex.
That was pretty
That
cool.
made my
Good.
day.
And they also had the funny thing about, like, did you guys see the thing where Larry Mack came in? They were like, I've been looking at Daniel Suarez's throttle tracer, and that thing is steady as a rock. Like, I haven't seen a car that's been that steady. Like, I don't know what they did with like the like in the ECU or like whatever. But
They had
like,
El Chapo put money in the car.
yeah, like they just had that thing where like he got off the corner good. Like he was top 5 the entire fucking race. Like I was like, wow. I mean, and especially for a guy that doesn't have like any like dirt experience or anything like that, that was very impressive for that team to run
Also,
that like that.
Mexico's all dirt, so
Yeah.
he definitely drove on dirt before.
I mean,
Also, that's really good for that team too. That is insanely well for that team to be performing as well as they have been. Just like starting out, like granted they are a little bit funded by RCR, but they're kind of outrunning a lot of the RCR cars.
I think
dude,
what's
they're
hilarious is
funded
for-
by fucking Mr. Worldwide.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, he's putting the whole world in that car.
Miami. Uno, dos, tres.
Cuatro.
Oh, tres, puke.
Gentlemen, start your handshakes.
Dude, I was like thinking like during the race, I was like, fuck, I really want Daniel Suarez to win this and get in the fucking playoffs. That'd be so
That'd be
sick.
tight. Dude, what if he
I
wins
mean,
the championship?
in the end, the right guy won. But Daniel Suarez
He looks
did
good.
lead 58 laps, and which was the
Truex
third
won
most
a-
laps
won a
up.
lot, too.
Yeah, behind Truex and Logano.
I mean, that was kind of the thing. I really didn't want like a simpy guy that can win every week to win this week, but I mean,
But
I
he
am happy
did.
though that it's 7 for 7, 7 different winners and 7 different races. I am
Yeah.
happy about that. I'd be okay with Hamlin winning next week if it keeps the streak alive. I want to see that streak go as long as possible.
that would be awesome. I mean, because look at the guys. Like, there's so many guys. Like Hamlin hasn't won, Chase hasn't won, Brad hasn't won, Harvick hasn't won, Kyle Busch, Kurt Busch haven't won. Yeah.
Brad's gonna win
Bowman
next
hasn't
week and make
won,
it Penske
like-
3 in a row.
All right, we'll get to our picks in a minute. Shut the fuck up.
Boy, you about to be Logan'd.
Also, by the way, Logan is not here this week because he is out celebrating his 21st
Nobody that
birthday.
listens know
So
who Logan's is unless they're Logan's
Happy
families.
birthday.
happy birthday to Logan! Happy 21st! I hope you are still alive after all the drinks you have had. So.
Keep that butthole tight, boy.
Alrighty.
So rate the race,
Yes, rate the race.
Ryan.
I will go first. I will give it a 6.8. I'll give it a 6.8. I thought it. I mean, it's tough just because like it's so different than. I mean, it's the first dirt race for Cup in 50 years. Blah 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 blah. Like,
But like you said, it wasn't.
it was
like
so
a normal
different.
race.
but
It was like inconvenient Bristol.
yes, it
Old
was.
Bristol.
It was basically old Bristol most of the race. Like,
Yeah,
it,
except at Old Bristol, you didn't get fucking dirt flying up in your face. It was just inconvenient Bristol. That's all it
Yeah.
was.
well, yeah, that was the thing. It was like I said, those first 50 laps of the race were really interesting because like the top and bottom were both like usable and good, and then the track just got so dusty and like it
And apparently to some, the actual track was showing. Fucking idiots.
the concrete.
Yes, concrete showing. I can't believe.
I can see the concrete. There it is. Yeah, no, and once it got around all the bottom, it just lost a lot of interest for me. It just was like, I mean, sure, like yeah, you can like bump a guy out of the way, but like it just I would have definitely preferred. I think all tracks are better when you have two grooves that are both usable to make passes on, and that just was not the case at all. So they have to rethink a lot of things, I think, before they come back. And I think it definitely has to be a night race for sure. A Saturday night race. I have no idea
not in
why.
the middle of spring when all it does is rain.
Right? Yeah. Like it. They have
Where
a lot
was
of.
the PJ1? That's what I say.
Yeah.
Throw some of that PJ1 down
They
the high
should have,
groove.
dude. I mean, it would have made it a whole lot more interesting.
I don't know if that
Straightaways,
actually work
concrete,
on-
and the dirt in the corners. Or have
Dude,
one corner dirt and one corner concrete.
I do know this. I saw I didn't even watch the video because I don't have enough time in my life to like acknowledge Quinn Hoof exists. But there was a video on Twitter and just like the look on his face, frozen, as like the thumbnail for the video, he was like fucking hyped that he finished 25th. Like that motherfucker looked like he had just won the Daytona 500.
I mean,
Like that's how
he took out
sad this
3
fucking.
he was
guys
good as
do
he's gonna
that.
finish like all season. So
Yeah.
And I doubt he was even on the lead lap.
yeah, probably not. I don't know,
But he took out 3 Rick Ware cars. That was pretty tight.
well, that was the thing is like, I mean, they did try to wire the track like in between stages and stuff, and like you saw like at the beginning of like that last run there, like they were making the high side work for a little bit, you know, like the first like 10 laps maybe, and then after that it was like, yeah, you can't, Denny, like you're gonna go straight into the wall. Like he kept trying to do that,
No.
and then so
What happened to Bubba? He was like up there he finished 27.
he cut a tire. Ricky Stenhouse hit him, and then he cut a tire down and spun out.
Stenhouse
So.
committed a hate crime.
They could have
my
easily
other-
caught a caution for that too, and they didn't. And he limped it
NASCAR
around.
committed a hate crime.
The only
Yeah.
good thing about going back there next year might be the composite bodies on the new cars. Like they should have cut either bigger wheel wells in these cars so they could have actually beaten and banged, or like use some sort of a composite for the cars for Bristol, because
Yeah.
I mean you can't. It's bad enough that we have NASCAR racing with cars you can't bump each other in.
Yeah.
But to have that use the same tight wheel wells at Bristol Dirt, I mean that's ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, I really do believe like, I mean it. Granted, like this was like the first time they've ever tried dirt at Bristol and that sort of thing. Like I do think it will be a little bit better next year. I don't know. I think Bristol is one of the best. It has been one of the best tracks on the circuit here for the last, number of years.
That is.
Yes, the paved version. Like I don't think that was my whole beef when they said like, oh, like there's gonna be a dirt race. I was like, I think that's cool, but I don't like the fact that it's taking away a date from Bristol, which has been one of the better races, for the package we are currently given. It's been one of the better races for a number of years now. So that's why I was kind of bummed. I would just wish they would go to like a legit actual dirt track to do that.
All right.
You don't want to
Ryan?
head to Dirt Martinsville next week?
I mean,
go to
All right.
Dirt
boys,
Coda
Atlanta.
in a couple
Dirt
of weeks.
Atlanta.
I wouldn't mind dirt Texas. That would be pretty
Oh.
good. So
Dude, all-star race ideas?
I bet-
Yo,
honestly,
what if they run the quarter mile?
I would much rather they do that than whatever they do on the fucking big track.
quarter-mile
So
dirt track at Texas.
No, the quarter mile asphalt oval on the front straight.
Those are boring. They're so flat.
Yeah, they are, but still,
That's
it's
the
probably
one
more
problem.
entertaining.
But there
Oh,
is
it
a
would
dirt
be.
track at Texas, so
Yeah, there
I
is.
mean they're
Put
reopening
them on the
that
go-kart
this year.
track.
Because that was part of the threesome series or whatever they called it for the dirt. But
That's
they're
tight.
advertising for the Dirt Nationals, Vegas, Bristol, Texas. What do you rate the race? Because I mean it was very.
I already rated it. I said 6.8.
Yeah, I was talking to
I don't-
Tyler. I should have
Yeah.
said
I was like,
I
I
was
don't know
waiting
who's-
for you to be over. I was like, all right, Ryan, Mr. Longwind.
hey, I always go long. I'm always
know.
long in all my
We
answers.
know.
so.
We definitely know.
Yeah, physically
Us
not
low
long,
bitch.
penis short, it, like everything else long.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Anyways, I'm gonna give the race probably like a 5.3. I think they could have done a lot better. Like a dirt track is just an average race for me. I'm not a huge fan of. I mean, I like Old Bristol because you gotta move 'em for the win, brother. But I do like having multiple lanes of racing. So I just give it like an average race. I think they should definitely go somewhere else in the future, like maybe somewhere close by at the dirt track, but somewhere where they can run and also cut out the fucking windows. Jay, what do you rate it?
Rating, my actual rating is 3.5.
Wow.
But it gets a
And your boy won. And you
well,
still
no,
did
that's
one.
That's
it
why I said
gets a-
actual rating.
it gets a 7-point boost for Logano winning. So it's an 11. It's a 10.5, 10.5.
God.
Yeah.
Oh, Joey Logano wins here next year. Do you advertise Bristol
Dude,
2020?
there's a 0%. If Joey Logano wins the dirt race next year, 0% chance they race again at the dirt track. So.
I'll buy, but I mean, Penske ain't getting a ring for this win, so it doesn't really matter. Dude doesn't have enough fingers and toes to cover all those fucking rings, boy. William Byron just has a couple of pinky rings,
Okay.
and I don't know who
He's-
your
he's
favorite
young.
driver is.
He's
The Ghost
young.
of Dale Earnhardt or whoever it is.
The Ghost of Dale Earnhardt, obviously, but I decided it's Kyle Larson is my favorite driver, and then second, really close behind, is gonna be Ryan Blaney.
Mm.
Yeah.
Dude.
You support racist and MILF hunters.
So I was looking at the point standings here. So Denny Hamlin has 6 top 5s in 7 races. He has a 58-point lead on Joey Logano, and the next closest is Truex, who is 80 behind. So there's a little bit of a gap building there with
Yeah,
Denny.
take your Winston
You left out
Cup
Tyler's
points and
favorite
go
driver,
somewhere
Kyle
else.
Larson, who's 85 behind.
Yeah, what the fuck, bro? Hey, how about my second favorite
Hey,
driver, though?
William Byron is in 6th, so
Where's my
Behind
second
Brad
favorite driver, though?
Keselowski, who doesn't even look like he should have that many points, but he does.
I don't know, man. Will
What were
he
you
be?
saying, Ryan? I mean, Tyler, because he can barely hear you.
Go back to the Winston Cup points, they say. Now look at it.
That's
I
a
don't have
good
those in front of me. The race ended like 3 minutes ago.
Okay, have we recapped everything we want to say from Dirt Bristol? Because all of our viewers are waiting for us to talk about the F1 race that happened.
Oh, did you guys forget there's a fucking race at Martinsville, stupids? Next
I
week?
didn't.
There isn't a race next week, but there is a race there the week after that.
Well,
so
I'm stupid.
Oh, they have an off week. Wow.
They do have an off week.
All right,
Off
I
weeks
think
are-
Tony
The
Stewart winning
educated
the off week.
No, bro. I'm not. I didn't want to do this podcast, honestly. So it's
Well, we can do the race picks for Martinsville. I mean, we could do it this week, or we can do it next week
we'll
since
do it
we
next
have.
week.
Yeah, I think
mean,
we should
all
do it
right.
next week. We can
Martinsville
talk about
I'm
more
with
probably-
stuff.
that.
Martinsville is actually gonna be interesting. I'm hyped because the Wheel of Modified series is starting their season on the Thursday before the
Is that
Cup
going to be
races.
on Track Pass?
That will be on Track Pass.
Yes, sir.
And
Let's
probably 2 of us on this podcast will watch it.
go. Ryan, I swear to God, if you do not watch it, I will dead ass
I mean,
get a flight
I feel like
over to your
Ryan
house
gets booted
and
from the
beat
podcast.
your ass.
Yeah, if we don't
Ryan,
get video,
Ryan, look at me in the eyes. Look at me in the eyes. I will
don't-
dead ass do that.
You'll eat my ass.
Oh yeah.
he's
yeah.
gonna fucking hit your ass with that
She.
power saw he's got, bro.
Oh yes, sir. I'm gonna bust out the sawzall and the chainsaw now. I got a
He's gonna give
chainsaw
you 2
too.
or 3 more assholes,
I mean.
Yeah, you're gonna have 6 teeth.
bro. You ain't
Yo,
on this podcast
hold-
after April 7th. If we
Wait.
don't have a live stream of you watching the
Wait,
Swear
here,
to
I'm
God,
gonna
swear to
do
God,
that.
we're
I'm
not
gonna do
getting
that
invited
meme.
next week.
I'm gonna do that meme real quick. Hold up.
what kind of motherfucker has cash on him, bro?
Dude, what are you doing, idiot?
You
Pull
still
out your credit card. Hey, let
Have you
me
not seen
see that
Russ?
credit card info first, huh?
Have you
Yeah.
not seen that meme?
No.
Oh my god.
Ladies and
Yes.
gentlemen, we have failed as a podcast. Goodbye.
Wow. Actually, probably nobody on here watches TikTok, so y'all wouldn't know what that is. But
Nobody on here
Anyways.
watches this podcast. So nobody in the world.
Yeah, they
watches-
watched 9 minutes.
hey,
Yeah, they've already
nobody's
shut us
here
off.
right now, so we're
Dude,
good.
even Larry, dude, our friend Larry is like, I ain't got time to listen to your podcast, but I want to be on it, but I don't have
Yeah,
time to
right.
listen to it.
All right. Well,
He's like,
I think
Let's
we should
vote now.
next time. As soon as Chase wins, we'll bring him on the next week. I think that's a good. That's
And
a
then
good.
we're gonna hang up on him immediately as soon as
Yes,
he starts.
as soon as he starts
as
talking
soon as
about
we
chicks.
see him smirk. Bah. I'm surprised none of those motherfuckers commented when I posted my Joey celebration in Snapchat. Honestly,
And if anyone has made it this far, that's not part of the SNRL. We do have a documentary coming out at the end of our season, so it's going to be pretty interesting. Please watch.
Yeah, third straight championship. So
Maybe.
you ain't making the Final Four, brother. Sorry about that.
yeah, agree to disagree.
You and Alex are on a pedestal right now. Not a good pedestal. Young Heredia, the god.
Already a god if he is tuned into this.
Thank you.
I-
You know
for
he's
that.
probably
I
the
ate
only
a-
person
for you.
who listens
I got a
past
honey
9
bun,
minutes.
so
I'm gonna tell him we dropped his name in this podcast, and he'll listen to.
He'll
He'll
listen
listen
to
to every
everything.
single bit until
you gotta watch the whole thing to see where you come
Yeah.
up.
Here's the honey bun. Here's the honey bun.
That's how we'll get people to listen.
McDonald's, bro.
We'll just start saying a bunch of names right at the end.
Yeah,
of the
like
podcast.
famous names too were like Bill Murray.
Just tell
Joey
William Byron.
Logano.
We'll tweet William Byron and tell him how much we talk about him.
Oh yeah, like all the time, bro.
Bro, William Byron, your face is on the podcast the entire time this week.
Bro, how does that make you feel, bro?
Send an email to Dale. Tell him him and your brother's pillow are the background. Because for some reason your brother's pillow like shines.
Yeah, I noticed that. Check
I
this
think
out.
that means like very bright, probably because the light hits white so good.
Which is why I'm so bright.
Which is why I think maybe I'll bleach my hair. So that
That'd be funny as hell. Get frosted tips.
I bleached my hair in high school. It'd just be really fucking weird if I did it as an adult.
I bleached mine.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that later.
The late
Yeah,
night bleaching your hair
podcast.
was pretty cool though.
Back in the day, though, brother.
You know what we think we need to do? What are those things called? NFTs that people are making tons of money on? Non-transable or NTFs, non-fundable transgenders or something.
Yeah,
They're
something like
making these
that.
little
Huh.
digital pieces of artwork, and they're selling for like tons of money. And like SNL did a sketch about them this weekend. It was basically another parody of an Eminem video, but trying to explain what they are. And it basically is like you sell a meme you made. It like half the time is what it looked like. I'm like, bro, I should be selling personalized memes
Bruh.
to people on the internet. But yeah, maybe we'll talk
William
about
Byron
F1.
buys all of them.
So F1 happened.
So F1, I mean, I think we could probably all
Discuss.
agree that was the most interesting thing that happened all recent.
All
That was the
weekend.
most interesting thing that happened all weekend in racing. Agree?
Agreed.
Agree.
Okay.
Which is not something you're going to hear from us very often.
Probably not, because honestly, I mean, I think we can all agree F1 broadcasts are like the absolute like GOAT tier. Like there is no
Pinnacle.
better racing broadcast than an F1 broadcast. And that's why you should tune in no matter like how boring the actual race is. The broadcast
Those
is
guys
so
are
fucking good.
fucking hyped.
They're
The
phenomenal.
broadcast is so good. Every
Like
single week.
even when that lead battle wasn't very like entertaining at times, like they were still getting me hyped up. Like my
Oh,
heart
dude.
was racing a little bit.
They talk about the strategy. They go through the pit lane. They talk about pace. They talk about
They know what they're talking about. Unlike
and the graphics are amazing. You can see the whole field. You can see the interval between every single driver. You can see when somebody has the fastest sector, they put that up. When they talk about like towards the end of the race, they were like Verstappen's going to be in overtake distance within 6 laps. And they were like, this is the difficulty of the overtake. They just have everything.
Yeah, they have everything dialed.
Yes, it is.
They know what they're doing, and it's amazing. And they also have it a lot more classier. Like, their display is a lot classier than NASCAR's, which I like. I like their classy.
The biggest thing is they have 0 commercials throughout the entire race.
Yeah,
If you are a NASCAR fan and watch a lot of NASCAR broadcasts and never watch an F1 broadcast, watch an F1 broadcast, and your mind will be fucking blown that somebody can present a race like this.
Unlike Rick Allen.
Yeah, your mind will just like explode with the fact that a race can actually be broadcasted like this from start to finish. Absolutely insane. It's like I watch that and then I watch a cup race and I'm like, that broadcast was terrible.
Not only that, they even have more stuff after the race than Cup does.
Yes,
I mean, they show
yes,
everything.
they have a whole like 30+ minutes, and they were interviewing Toto Wolff and Christian Horner. Like they had they just had
together
so
at the same
stuff.
time.
Yes,
You never see
it was
two
awesome.
crew chiefs in NASCAR sitting next to each other.
Unless they're beating each other's ass.
Yeah.
It was awesome. Like it's just crazy to watch one of those and then watch a NASCAR broadcast. Honestly, like
It's like you're going back in time 60 years.
honestly, it is. I mean, and granted, like that's the thing is like on track wise, like F1 doesn't always present the best on track action, but the broadcast makes it feel like it's just crazy good. So,
Well, let's go into a more sadder topic. Nikita Mazepin. How about that? So you see Joey Logano's wheel above Jay. See how it resembles a 0? That's how much talent that Mazepin has. I could
How did
probably
they
hop in
not
that car
call
with
Nikita Mazepin at this point because
Dude,
that dude
I-
is spinning?
when I
shout out real quick to our first sponsor. When has Nikita spun last or something like that.com? Look it up, and it's how many days since Nikita has spun. It's very, very wonderful. Right now we are at like a day something. It's amazing.
It's gonna be like 4 days every week.
Exactly. It's gonna be so. See, go back down to 0 as soon as it happens.
There's no way he gets through all those practices they have and qualifying and the race without spinning.
Amazing.
when I like saw like that, like they were like focused at the front of the field and they were showing like the first lap or whatever, and then you saw like the Haas car, they were like, oh, like this is right where the Haas car, this is like right where Roman Grosjean like died last year. And then,
Almost died.
Yeah. And then I was just like, okay, like they just got into each other, blah blah blah, and then they showed the replay, and this dude is literally last and like not even close to another car and like overcorrects and goes straight into a fucking wall. I was like, wow. Like, wow,
right.
bud.
Sorry.
Like,
I mean, do we think
Our
Haas
sponsor.
even has all 4 of their tires lined up right?
Oh no.
probably not.
No, they're set up for a NASCAR race.
They don't
Honestly-
have shocks on that car. It's just like welded metal rods. Like
I mean,
that's
The ball in between springs.
I have a question to ask you guys. All right. So let's swap Gunther with Rodney Childers. Put Rodney Childers in charge of the
Yo,
Haas car.
Austin
Yeah.
Dillon gone instantly.
Can we get Kevin Harvick in one of those cars too?
I would love to see that, honestly, dude. I would just love to see like a NASCAR driver in their prime just be like, "Yep, I'm going straight to F1."
That'd be tight.
Just
I
to
hope so.
see what happens,
Chase
just to
Elliott.
see what they would do.
I don't think
What-
F1
yes.
would even have them, nor would those rules. They have those dumb F1 rules that you have to have like
The super
whatever, a
license.
bunch of twink points or whatever they're called.
But oh yeah, here's a sponsor name by the way. When did MazepinSpin.com? We are not getting paid. We're just shouting you out because you're fucking hilarious. Thank you for your service. Oh yeah, and let's see his last spin date. It has been 1 day, 13 hours, and 13 minutes and 29 seconds since his last spin. And next drive for Mazepin is 17 days, 5 hours, 9 minutes, and 22 seconds.
Does anybody know when the first Indy race is?
Let me check. I think it's sometime in. Oh, it is. The first one is the Honda Indy Grand Prix of Alabama, April 18th.
Sweet home Alabama.
Wait, of Alabama? Where are
Yeah.
they racing?
Yeah, where are they racing?
Uh,
Talladega. Oh,
Birmingham,
insane.
Alabama. I feel like I do not remember that track.
That's new.
To be
Birmingham
honest,
Road
so.
Course.
It's probably a city track.
Well, it says the 2019 Sato one.
They're gonna drive. They must
Really?
drive by a lot of burning crosses.
Yeah,
That's a
and
road.
especially
Yeah,
for
I don't.
That's a
Wow.
street course.
I somehow just don't remember that course at all, to be honest. So
I feel
That-
like people would die. This Talladega, they would drive through the infield where the campers park at Talladega.
oh,
yes, we can see everything, Ryan. Thank you very much.
It makes your face disappear if you put your phone.
yeah.
Yeah, put your phone right in
Yep.
front of
We
your
can
face.
see
Ryan.
Willie B's chest. His powerful, manly chest.
Yo,
Yeah,
it's,
I just do not remember that course. But I always thought it was St. Pete that opened it up, but St. Pete is the second race, so
I mean, there's a short track I think in Birmingham, but I can't imagine
are
they're
they going
racing
short track racing?
unless they replaced Iowa with like what is it? It doesn't say the name of the track on there. This is definitely the most
Yeah,
interesting
Grand Prix of
part.
Alabama.
yeah, it
Yeah.
literally
I'm
does
looking at
not
it right
say
now. I'm
the
gonna see
track.
what the track looks like.
Barber Motorsports Park.
Oh, Barber?
Oh, it's Barber?
Barber?
That's a
Yeah.
cool track.
Yeah, Barber's like all over iRacing all the time.
Yeah, all the time. As our buddy Bulldog knows.
I didn't realize they race there in F1. They don't
Yeah.
race there in F1. In IndyCar. They have what's interesting. I was looking at their schedule. So they have that the next weekend they have St. Pete, and then they have back to for some ungodly reason they have double header at Indy not at Indy at Texas. They have one race is
Get him out of the
212
way.
laps, one lap is 250 laps.
What fucking kind of blackmail does that motherfucker have on these race series?
North
I don't know.
Wilkesboro.
Nothing. The most interesting thing that's ever happened at Texas was Michael McDowell's wreck in qualifying. Like the best thing to ever happen at Texas. Beyond that, I can't remember a single memorable thing that's happened at Texas.
Old Texas was okay to watch. I enjoyed that. You could
Bro,
run.
Tony
multiple
Roper
lines.
died there too, so like that's something.
Rip.
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 Carrier's legacy, other Roper.
He took that hard ride straight into heaven. That's
So
why we don't go right in
the-
stock cars.
Hey, Dale didn't go to heaven. He's still turning left.
So the sixth race of the year is the Indy 500. So
The sixth race of the year. That seems anticlimactic. It's either do your biggest race at the beginning of the season or at the very end of the season. I feel like.
Maybe
well,
the
like
middle too, that's
F1
okay.
does the same
Fun.
thing with like Monaco. Like I think it's like the fourth or fifth race of the F1 season. So
Yeah, this is a stock car racing podcast. We don't judge ourselves against F1 standards, boy. I don't know what you
Yeah,
do.
NASCAR has so many crown jewels, more crown jewels than. I don't know
Dale
where
would
else
have won
to-
35 championships in a row if he was driving them F1 cars. You know it, boy.
They
Michael
would have
Schumacher-
beat Art and Cena.
Oh,
Dude.
Michelle Schumacher has 0 championships. Dale was spinning in those turning left and right in those F1 cars, boy.
Yeah,
Ooh,
more
boy.
than Lewis Clamilton. What are you talking about?
Yeah, boy. You know Dale will be spinning Louis Hamilton
For the win.
every time, baby.
oh my god.
Yeah. NASCAR
So-
was to harness his power. You
Can't
wouldn't
great
like
sister
to
be
turn
my
around.
wife.
I think we need to finish our discussion on Bahrain though, because
yes.
there were some
I mean, the last race of last season.
Yeah.
no. Some of us were confused on the last race of last season. It
I'm
was
always
not
confused.
I
Bahrain.
also thought we were racing next weekend at Martinsville, so yeah. Some of us are just confused.
On iRacing, baby.
So,
Road course.
anyways, basically, I think Verstappen was pretty much the class of the field all weekend.
Disclaimer, this is also a matter of opinion too. When we get to this matter.
Not really. He was the fastest in everything.
No, not this. But I'm saying when we get to the actual thing of.
Okay, yes.
Track.
The real drama here is coming in a second. So Max Verstappen, Red Bull has, sort of figured out their shit. It feels like they've. They're not at Mercedes yet, but they have definitely caught up more than they've been in a little bit.
Aren't they gonna they don't have engines for next season, do they?
They don't. They're
just gonna run a chassis. They're just gonna start pushing.
It's gonna be like the Flintstones.
Yeah, exactly. And Verstappen's gonna have like the buffest legs. And Verstappen's going down 226 kilometers. Look at them feet.
I feel like it feels like on the F1 broadcast, like the most hype like all the broadcasters get is with Verstappen. Like it kind of feels like watching all the race, they all are like rooting for Verstappen to like give the Mercedes a race, honestly. Which I mean, I think all of us are.
Somebody else win.
I think all of us are rooting for Verstappen to give
a decent championship.
It would be like Dale if it's an F1, man. He win every race, and they wouldn't even. You just have drivers quitting because they know they ain't going faster than Dale, baby.
Exactly. Dale could be in a Williams right now or a Haas and win that race by
Dale
30
wouldn't have went off the course. He would have just fucking stuck his nose right in that bumper of that Lewis Hamilton, bro, and he'd just go right through him.
I only meant to rattle his ECU.
Yeah.
So anyway, we had Verstappen.
So anyways, me boy, Dale doesn't even need all those buttons on his steering wheel, bro. He just needs a straight up steering wheel.
You know what?
Baby.
Fuck Dale. Fuck Dale. If he was a better.
He has the 13-inch stock car.
If Dale was a better driver, he wouldn't have fucking died at fucking Daytona.
The button
like, come on.
Win or don't win.
Dale just has a button that says stop and a button that says go, baby. And he just put a piece of tape over that button that says stop. He's only got the go button.
He's like, what do you mean this fancy turbo?
I mean, these are our best characters.
Put a good old V8 in there, the 354 cubic inch engine in that motherfucker, and it's going to outrun any F1 car nowadays.
You know, Matt, how many little Dale Earnhardt mustaches would be running around Europe right now if Dale raced F1, boy? He'd make at least 30 women pregnant in a year.
With that half-faced helmet, I think Lewis Hamilton would be trembling in his driver's chute when he saw that mustache glimmering in the mirror.
Oh, Dale felt the air too, boy, and that was because those little whiskers be tickling that upper lip. He knows exactly where that
knows where the air is coming. He knows that DRS.
That motherfucker sniffed out a slipstream, boy.
When he gets DRS, the mustache goes down, more aerodynamic to his face.
Yeah, when he hit the corners, his mustache lifts right up and catches air.
And whatever side it points up, and then the other side points down.
Oh boy.
God. All right, back to you, Ryan.
I don't even know if I can continue after that.
Then I'll continue. So you see, Dale would not have exceeded track limits, but anyways, Verstappen on the other hand.
Dale be out there making the track limits, boy.
All right. Anyways,
every track an oval.
All right, Dale
wasn't even going to be doing it in an F1 car. He was going to do it in a 3 car, baby.
I just want to remind you all that Dale's fucking dead. Can we accept that? Dale's fucking dead.
Well, you're about to be fucking dead for saying that.
NASCAR died when Dale died, boy.
NASCAR died when Dale died.
When Kenny Schrader's took out Dale, he took out NASCAR's.
Fuck Kenny Schrader, honestly.
It was Sterling Marlin. It was Sterling Marlin and Kenny Schrader.
Okay, right. So we're gonna go back to the F1 race at Bahrain this past weekend. So Max Verstappen had the best car all weekend. Lewis Hamilton was given the best strategy. He got out in front. He had
killed Dale.
Lewis Hamilton killed Dale. Lewis Hamilton killed NASCAR. God damn it, Hamilton in the 23 car.
Ooh,
okay.
Boy, it looks like Willie B gone real deep in someone's asshole right there, boy.
Okay. All right. So
anyways, 17th time.
So
safety car on track.
So a guy went off the track.
So Lewis Hamilton was way out in front of Max Verstappen. Verstappen had about 10 laps, fresher tires. He was catching him. With 3 to go, finally got to him. Got DRS going into turn 4 there. Went to his outside. passed him, but he was off the track. So they were like, Max, you need to hand the position back to Lewis, please. Hand the position back to Lewis, please. And so he did. And then he got really loose, and I don't know what turn that is. And then he just couldn't catch him again.
Fans, he had a lot of oversteer.
He had a lot of oversteer, and then he couldn't get back to him. So
Dale didn't need a button to pass people. He just needed a bumper.
He just need that big old
DRS. Yeah, Dale didn't need doctors either.
Saving grace that fucking series, bro, is like if they didn't have fucking DRS, I don't know how the fuck they'd pass people at these tracks. Like,
What are the exact DRS rules?
DRS stands for Dale's really speedy.
Well,
And
Dale's racing spirit.
so Bahrain has 3 DRS zones, which I don't think any track has more than 3, and I think there's only like 3 or 4.
Right, but do you have to be within a certain?
Yes, be within a second.
Within a second. Oh, I thought it was like half a second. Because they didn't seem to be using it.
No, there's like a detection zone, like right before the DRS zone, and then if you're within a second, then you'll get it.
Dude, you want to know how to get a NASCAR fan to not watch F1? Start trying to explain DRS.
Hey, we're keeping them pretty long though with the Dale thing going on.
And then
Dale's
I asked him separately about DRS. It's just like imagine trying to tell like a stock car guy that like you have to press a magical button in a magical
telling
zone.
Dale that.
Yeah, Dale would be like, "Nah, bumper."
You know,
he would just keep saying bumper.
Imagine like old F1 drivers too hearing that, like Ayrton Senna or something. He'd be like, "What the fuck is that?"
Right? Yeah.
Like, just make it rain.
Well, dude,
When
also
did,
show it. My dad
when did that
saw.
even become a thing? Like
My
I
dad
feel like
saw
that
the
was
F1
with.
steering wheel and his fucking brains exploded all over the wall. Like that's what happened this weekend. That was my takeaway from the F1 race.
Like, wasn't DRS within like the past like 6 years or something like that?
Something like that. I mean,
I
it
don't even
improved
know
the
why
race.
doctors be
That's what it was.
involved.
Yeah. Why is Dale really speedy involved? That's NASCAR.
They get a little bit of that Dale's racing spirit. He just pushes that car down the track, baby.
For
he hops in the passenger seat.
the dirt F1 expert, it's the drag
The Dirt 1 expert.
Are we gonna get F1 at Dirt Bristol next year? That is the big question.
Dude, honestly, they should do F1 on dirt. Like, fuck it. Just do fucking
All the
Monaco
cars,
dirt at this
Ours-
point.
Imagine like
every
the
car would just
14,000
go off
RPM.
turn 1 into the wall, and the race would be
Like,
over.
That'd be kind of tight to hear though, like them feathering like the 14,000 RPMs, like bum, 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 bum.
Dude, F1 at Eldora? Holy shit.
Yo.
Oh my god.
Those cars would bottom out like the entire way around. You'd have to have like tires that are.
All
Also,
right.
I can't believe my dad like never watched an F1 race. I don't really think he's like, how do they do those pit stops so quick? I'm like, well, they've got 4 motherfuckers
30
out
people.
there.
They literally have 30 people
Dale
just
won't
sitting
need
there
a
every
pit stop
pit
I
for
know.
F1. He knows that tire management.
And even we were debating on how fast NASCAR pit stops would be increased, like with the single lug next year, and it still won't be nearly as fast because there's no motherfuckers are gonna sign up to be waiting out in the pit box on each side of the race
Oh
car.
yeah, dude.
I say every team only gets like one team to pit their car too. Let's make NASCAR really interesting.
Make it F1.
That would be crazy, honestly.
It's called NASCAR 1.
I mean, basically those cars look like IMSA cars that they're going to be racing next year. So, I mean, fucking diffuse your queer diffuser, and I mean, it probably is going to make racing more interesting. But it's just really sad that they have to go to those lengths to make it an interesting car. I mean, cars seemed pretty interesting in the '90s, early 2000s, and they
Bring back the '87 Cup cars back when Dale Jr. was.
I say we just dig Dale right up, baby. Let's reincarnate Dale.
Honestly, bring back the cars where like you could die in, bro. Like if Ryan Newman didn't die in that car, like I need somebody to die.
Add some danger.
Let him drive
F1
these
did it.
cars, but just take some of the safety features away. No more Hans devices.
No more safety seats.
No more
Bring back
helmets. How
Cadillac
about no
like
more
70s.
helmets?
Yeah. You guys want open face helmets? How about no helmets at all, boy?
All right, just dress like you normally
No
do.
seatbelts
to
either.
Sunday.
Every race gonna be at Talladega too.
No, they just have like the normal clicking seatbelts with like the Cadillac like 70s seats. It's all like cushy.
The Joe Weatherly model.
Yeah.
Definitely no side restraints. We want the
No.
motherfucker to be able to cock his head and look out the window while he's driving. No spotters. No more
I like that.
spotters.
No rear
Um,
view mirrors.
The spotters become the crew chiefs. The crew chiefs become the jackman.
Richard Childress becomes a jackman.
No windshields, just goggles.
Just
Yeah.
goggles.
No restrictor plates. Only 6,000 horsepower drag engines.
You have to wear a pirate patch over one of your eyes, so you don't have very good depth perception.
And you have to wear drunk goggles on the other one.
And you only get 3 tires.
I like it, honestly.
It's
I fuck
gonna
with
be like a combination between a tricycle and a cup car.
it.
No, you only get 3.5. So one's a half tire. So whenever it rotates, you only get that little bit.
Funk, funk.
So, anyways, for this 22nd time, let's go back to F1J. What did you think about that
It
incident?
happened. It was
The track
great.
limits.
You
Track
have exceeded
limits.
the track limits, Max. Please stop.
Please go back, Max Verstappen.
I don't know, man. If Dale was on the radio for Max Verstappen, he would have just been like, Max, pin that bad boy, keep your foot in her,
Caper in fourth.
drive that colored fella right off the track, bring it home.
Damn.
That was Dale, man. Dale
Bring
speaks
back.
through me. You know how like some people speak to God? I speak to Dale, and I
think we're all
can't
doing
control what
Dale.
Dale says through me. He just puts the words in my mouth.
So okay, I like honestly
You're the
my issue with the whole thing is the fact that like the whole race, most of the guys were like going off. Most of the guys were honestly taking Verstappen's line like off of turn 4 there. Like it was one of the like main corners where like it's easy to like exit long so you can like carry more speed on. He got all the way to the outside of Lewis. I think if you look at the replay, like he pretty much cleared him, and it looked like watching again, like he kind of like got loose or something and tried to like correct it, and then he went all the way over the curbing or whatever it's called, and I mean that's just kind of the way F1 is, and that's like my only slight thing about F1 is it feels like sometimes it's like too tight. Like I feel like NASCAR a lot of times
I know they're like 4 car lengths off the track and just sliding. Fucking Marcus Ambrose and that went through the grass.
like it feels like NASCAR is a little bit more like self-policing, where like F1 it feels like there's a lot of little intricacies that the FIA like.
But that's
there's a lot of shit that happens with the FIA that it's like it really could go one way or another, whether or not you get a penalty or not. Whereas like NASCAR is so much more like self-policing. So that's my only thing with that.
F1 cars are so darty compared to NASCARs. NASCARs just slide them, and I mean half the time they're sliding off the track. Versus F1 cars where they're so stuck to the ground that you barely turn the wheel and you're going 90 degrees.
Right. No. Yeah. They are stuck, and personally, like I thought he had already completed the pass by the time he went outside the track limits. I don't know. I was surprised when he slowed down to let him back by. I thought he was gonna have another shot at him, but he didn't.
I thought
end
so
up
too.
doing that. So, what's your
my-
opinion? Why too?
My thought is that, yeah, a lot of people were taking that kind of line. They were definitely cutting it a little bit shorter. Like, there's definitely a couple pictures of everybody. Like, they're on the line. They're over the track, but they're still on the line, where Verstappen was like a car length and a half off. Which, I mean, it's all right, I guess. I understand, like, people's frustration with it. But also, I think that it was different because he had the pass on it. Like, there was a pass during that time. If there wasn't a pass and, like, he just took that line, then I think it would have been okay. But since there was a pass during that, and Lewis played it super smart too. Like, he knew that he was going to overshoot that corner or something, and he pushed him a little bit wide, but just enough to where he could have the tires on the track. But it was, yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
That's like my only thing is like a lot of the commentators like with F1 is like they talk about like the guy on the inside, like if they have that position, they're like, that's his corner, like that's blah blah blah's corner, and like if you're coming from like the stock car world, it's like you just give the dude room. Like that's just kind of how it works. Versus like some of the F1 guys, it seems like they just assume if they have that inside preferred lane that like they can just force the guy all the way out if they want to.
But the thing was though, I don't think Lewis forced him out too bad.
No, he definitely didn't force him out too bad. I also think like if Verstappen tried to correct right, like I think they would have wrecked, or they would have made
fit one Dale Earnhardt in between them. But no, yeah, I do think that Verstappen's right side wheels could have been on the curbs a little bit.
I think they could have.
Like you said, he just got a little bit loose, a little bit on the marbles.
Maybe y'all want to factor in Lewis Hamilton doesn't take getting passed very well in past incidents.
No, but
and has definitely like wrecked dudes trying to do the same thing.
I mean, yeah, he did that to Albon like a couple of times.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, he's definitely done that. I mean. It was kind of also weird though, because they had the lap. I don't know who the lap car was like on that straightaway. So like Lewis was also getting like a little bit of pull off of him, and then he like pulled way off.
Toe, you should say.
Huh?
Toe, you should say. Not a pull. It's toe.
Yes. Toe. He got a little bit of toe on him. But in the announcers also, they were like, Max should have given it back like at a different time, because when he
should have pulled a little bit.
Right, like when he gave it back, he was like Lewis already had DRS, so he should have like given it back like on that last long straightaway before like that last turn. That's where he should have given it back, because then he would have had DRS going down all the way down that long straightaway, and he probably could have passed him again on that straightaway. So that, but, I mean.
I gotta say though, like, granted, that whole controversy went down, but that was really impressive, holding off Max Verstappen as much as he did with how much DRS Max had for that many laps on that many lap older tires, 10 lap older tires. That was impressive. Like, yeah, I know Mercedes was fast and all that, but Red Bull was faster this week, and Lewis Hamilton just pulled that extra little bit out. That's why he's at Mercedes, because he can drive like that. People forget that.
Right. No, yeah.
Like, granted, you put Dale in that car and he's out by like 45 seconds, but.
I mean, Lewis is the best to ever do it in an F1 car, so he is. I mean, yeah. No, it's easy to take for granted, all the things that he does with, how fast Mercedes has been over the past however many years.
There's a reason he's there.
But yeah, there is a reason he gets the best car every week. The best drivers get the best car. Like that's how all racing works pretty much.
Unless you're other people or Xfinity Series 2. Really.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. But I mean, no, it did, I was pumped for it.
Or you be like Dale and not get paid and just race to win. Blue collar folks smash the race.
I think everybody like should be excited, hopefully, that like, if, and that was the other thing was like Perez like having to go to the back like right at the start of the race. That definitely hurt Red Bull a little bit, because like it basically felt like 2-on-1. Like Red Bull and Mercedes are so out in
it's
front.
Not much different from what they had last season with Albon. He sucked.
Right, yeah, no, for sure. I think Perez is like Perez is definitely going to give him like, a step up from Albon.
Hell of a drive, by the way. Thank you, Chico.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, Chico was awesome. But, I think everybody really wants to see that battle be a lot closer between, Mercedes and Red Bull, and especially Verstappen and Hamilton. Like, I think we could see like a real Red Bull last year. It felt like they had a lot of Max had a lot of races where he was really fast in, and they had some sort of shit go wrong with the car. So if he can like keep it together and like string a lot of either wins or second places together, like he's going to give Lewis a run throughout the whole season, I feel like. So, I mean, I'm hoping. I think everybody's hoping at least. We don't want to see Lewis run away with it, I don't think any of us would mind seeing Lewis win an 8th championship, but we also want to see him have to work really fucking hard for it because we know Valtteri isn't going to. Right, because like Valtteri isn't going to give him a fight. So, that's just.
Dale says Hamilton ain't getting 8.
I mean,
he's gonna stick at 7 with the other greats of motorsports.
I mean, what do you guys think? Like, as soon as, like, say Hamilton was to get 8 this year, and he was gonna say, "All right, I'm retiring." Like, how many? Like, I mean, that's never gonna happen.
That's the dream.
That would be sick for sure.
I could see him doing it though. I mean, he's done that car swap with Tony Stewart. Dude, a one-off race in the Xfinity Series, the 0-0 in the Xfinity Series for Lewis Hamilton. I could see it. Make it 44. Steal Tommy Joe Martin.
No, like I agree that would definitely be sick, and if that's, I mean, he's not like super old. He's like what 37, something like that, 36.
Exactly.
37?
I'm gonna email him right now, lewishamilton44@gmail.com. Please race NASCAR once you're done.
So I was curious about you, like YT, like so if Hamilton were to retire after this year, like how many like, do you see anybody like in Verstappen's way from like winning like multiple championships like the
George
next?
Russell if he goes to Mercedes.
Yeah, I
George
could see
Russell
that. Like
versus Verstappen, it's going to be a neck and neck battle, and it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, no, I think everybody kind of agrees. Like George Russell is probably one of the top 6 drivers on the grid
Easily, and then the up and comer too, Dale Earnhardt.
Yeah, he's pretty quick. I've heard. Is he going to Haas?
I think so. No, he's starting his new team. It's called a DEI, and apparently that they're gonna only have like V8s, just regular NASCAR V8s, but they're still gonna win every race. I know it.
Okay. They probably handle great, I bet, in the corners.
Oh, for sure.
Okay. Huh. Interesting. Who's the second driver then?
Probably over now.
Who's the second?
Dale's Jr. Teresa. Teresa's not the crew chief.
Carrie.
Carrie's a crew chief.
Carrie killed him. Carrie killed
Dale.
I mean, as much as we want to make you look like little Dale Earnhardt, you really look just exactly like Carrie Earnhardt. So
that's tough.
It's okay.
Just thank you for your service.
I'm a better driver than Kelly, though. I'll fight him.
You're a better driver than Kelly?
Oh, Carrie.
And Carrie?
Both.
Maybe?
Both. Just interchange the names. Meet me on NASCAR 85.
What about Jeffrey?
Ooh.
We're all better drivers than Jeffrey.
Dude, remember last year when he ran the 18 car for a little bit?
Didn't do jack shit.
Was that last year or the year before last?
Actually, it might have been I don't even remember. Was it?
Oh.
Yeah. Okay.
Because the 18 car was one person last year that I can't remember.
Yeah.
Wasn't it Riley Herbst?
Yes, it was.
Riley Herbst.
Riley.
That's why you can't remember.
Yeah, that is a fact. He is the least memorable person to exist in the world. Unless you're memeing Riley Herbst, you ain't paying attention to Riley Herbst. That's the saying. That's what they say.
Pretty much.
The Demon Demon.
His friends call him the Seaman Demon, but yeah, we can call him the Meme Demon.
Interesting. Hot take.
Hot fucking takes, boy.
Well, thank you everyone again for not listening to our podcast.
Thank you to our sponsors.
We basically do this so we get a chance to hang out on a Monday night, and so thank you for listening.
OnlyFans coming at 100 subscribers. I will dress up like Dale Earnhardt.
Let's go.
I like
also, Logan might be arrested right now, so we don't know.
Yeah, so rest in peace, happy birthday, and I hope you spend it nice in the clinic.
Yeah, sorry, but we ain't got the money to bail you out, but homie, so.
Until everyone watches, and then we get money to bail them out.
So if you want to get Logan out of jail, subscribe to our podcast.
Yeah,
Please.
If you're listening right now, congratulations for getting past minute 9.
If you're
thank
not
you.
completely
right now, I will
stoned out of your mind,
Yeah, if you see this part of the podcast, send us an email at backmarkerspod@gmail.com, and we will loan Tyler out to you for one night of romantic kissing.
Whatever you want.
If you want that little push broom rubbing up against your body, you got it. So, thank you. This one person for
Congratulations
listening.
to whoever it is.
The winner. First email wins.
Oh, it's William Byron, bro.
The
He's
race,
coming
baby.
for you.
First. Wait, why is the first email Ryan? Honestly, what
Podcast
if it was
over.
William Byron?